Hello, Switz.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing?
I can't complain, man. If I would, no one would listen to me anyways. How about you, dude?
Same as always. Same as always.
I got a surprise for you.
All right.
I'm going to stay one extra day for the Comic-Con. I'm going to stay over Sunday night.
Okay.
I'll leave Monday morning only because basically the rental car opens up Monday morning in Toronto and saves me money. So I'll just leave Monday morning, dude. So we can load it at the con more Sunday, or else you can just kick me out and say, go to the casino or something.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. You're watching something we refer to as Old Man Theater because we're old men. In the past, we've talked about DC, Marvel, Star Wars, James Gunn, snack foods, Comic-Cons, anything we can think of. My good buddy here, this is Switz, G Switzer.
Hello.
He is my ride or die buddy. We've known each other since university. So what's that about now?
1994.
30 some odd years?
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s. So we've known each other since we were in our early 20s, if we remember back that far. Anyways, tonight we are talking hockey and baseball, I take it?
Hockey and baseball. And I thought I'd throw up another little topic there since it's timely. But we might as well talk about the Oscars.
If you do not know, everybody, Switzer here used to run the largest video rental store in Canada, easily. That's Entertainment. God rest his soul. Closed up recently, turning a dollar out. But it was 14,000 square feet of pure joy. We will do a birthday memorial episode of the store in June. But Switz is as big a movie buff as I am, and so you want to talk Oscars? Let's talk Oscars.
You want to talk Oscars now? I'm going to talk other stuff first. You want to talk Oscars, or what do we want? What order do we want to go?
I'm as free and free and loose.
Hemi believes that the 90s were 10 years ago, and I believe her.
I believe her too, actually.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that we're not as old as we think we are, or
That's true.
as old as our knees feel.
Yeah, no kidding. Some people worry about basically, not getting that promotion. I worry about putting their socks on in the morning at this point.
Yeah. We're going to talk Oscars.
Yeah,
I might as well
let's do
change my
Oscars.
background.
Yeah, let's do Oscars because
since someone apparently didn't like my my hockey background. I wonder why. I don't know if it's because of the team on there, or
we got some rowdy people in the chat.
Hardship that the team, being a fan of that team, brings.
Yeah, Toronto Maple Leaf team fans.
Yeah.
I don't know really. All I know is basically every year you guys start playing the parade in September for the Stanley Cup. So
well, yeah, give us our glory when we're 1-0 to start the season. That's as high as it gets.
Oh my God. Anyways, the Oscars. Like I said, Switz and I are big movie buffs. So
what have you seen?
What have I seen for Oscars? Well, I hate to say it. This is going to be really. It feels like a Michael, but not quite. It's just looks like a Tron background. Hey, buddy. Dirty Pineapple. I've seen, I hate to say it, Anywhere, Everywhere, All at Once, basically. I've seen that much.
Yep. That was really good. I also saw The Banshees with
oh yes,
Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
I read the script. I think that one was actually sounded pretty good. Maybe not.
It was good. Okay. It's kind of funny that they kind of call it a comedy because it's a very, very dark, dramatic movie. But there was like one scene that did make me laugh out loud, and then continued to laugh at that joke for a good couple minutes.
Like to me, basically, Shaun of the Dead. That's a dark comedy. The Banshees of Ireland is just dark.
Yeah. Who has seen The Banshees?
That's a good question.
Who out there has seen it? I
don't know if people have seen much more than what's on Disney Plus. Oh wait, there we go. Snoo. Hemi Cakes has said Banshees was amazing.
Yes. And would you not agree? Not really a funny movie for the most part.
No.
There will probably be a few spoilers here as we talk about these movies, and the bit with the fingers. Holy crap!
Yeah, it was
funny, but was it definitely hit home. It was a powerful movie. It was a fun movie to watch.
It was funny,
very enjoyable.
If you thought the clown falling over and killing himself and Billy Madison was funny, then you'll enjoy the Banshees of the Irishin. We could run down the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah.
So Banshees of Irishin. There are 10 up there. While that's a good film,
for old men, you see.
While that's a good film, I don't think it's gonna take it basically.
So we got All Quiet on the Western Front.
I want to see this. I'm a war buff. I don't mind. I've seen all the prior war films, like that 1917 one, which was so. What was that other one I saw that I wanted?
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I was thinking the one I saw recently, Dunkirk and all that. Yeah,
Dunkirk. Yep.
Yeah, it's been a while since like Saving Private Ryan was Oscar worthy, definitely. But and All Quiet on the Western Front, while I think is a decent film, I don't think it's not a Best Picture worthy.
Now, I can't remember. I'll just look it up here for a second. Did the original win any Oscars?
I'll look it up, but if I was going to win for anything, I'm going to go say it won something for cinematography. Because
yes, it did. It did win Oscars. It won Best Picture and Best Director.
Really?
Yep, the original one from 1930.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what it was up against.
In 1930?
Yeah.
Wasn't Citizen Kane, that's for sure.
No. And
Yeah.
Citizen Kane, I have not been able to ever get through that movie.
I watched it. It's overrated.
I fall asleep every time I've tried.
Yeah. Hemmy Cakes makes a good point because Top Gun Maverick is also nominated for Best Picture.
Well, we're going alphabetical here, kids. Let's go.
Oh, I'm just looking at whatever's up here, man.
Avatar: The Way of Water.
Snore. I'm not going to see it.
I haven't seen the first one even.
I saw
no desire to see it. It does not appeal to me. It just looks like it's trying to make a movie for the sake of making a movie and just trying to draw in bums on seats as much as it can with its flashy effects and its flashy technology, but very little story.
100%.
Or very little original story, at least.
100%. I saw the first Avatar with my dad. Yep. It was visually stunning at the time. Yep. Long as all heck. Yep. And basically, it was a poor version of The Man Who Would Be King. Yeah. Yeah, it's a total cash grab.
In which case, just watch The Man Who Would Be King.
Exactly.
Sean Connery, Michael Caine, let's go.
Yeah. Old Mr. Michael Bernier raises a good point. I think it's a cash grab. Like I always said, do not bet against Cameron at the box office. He will make money.
Oh yes,
he's got 2 more of these movies coming.
Yep, and he's, I'm sure, linked as well to the True Lies TV show that's on right now that just started up.
I'd be curious if it does or not. But
he's got to have some sort of producer or credit or something like that on it. Or
and this Avatar got delayed a bit because of Star Wars, The Star Wars films
got delayed because of COVID. It got delayed because of Star Wars. It got delayed because of they couldn't find enough computing power to render it and all sorts of things I've heard. I don't think all the time in the world could have made it probably a worthwhile story.
I haven't heard anything good about this film, like other than it was long.
No.
And it's not something. Another thing
I've heard good things about it technically. Again,
I tell you, the sign of a good film, if people talk about it long after they've seen it.
Yeah,
that's the sign of a good film.
Yeah.
And this one, no.
Yeah.
So we talked about the Banshees, which
Banshees of Inisherin.
I would like to see it further up the likability, the possibility scale. Like, put it this way, there's what I know will win and what I think should win. The Banshees should win. But that's not what's going to win, though.
No, it won't. Elvis.
I did see Elvis, and I'm going to say up the front.
How was he?
He was alive when I saw him.
Holy crap!
I'm a huge Baz Luhrmann fan. Moulin Rouge, Romeo and Juliet, Great Gatsby. Truth is, either like his movies or you hate his movies. There's no in between. Yep. Elvis was okay.
Now, Great Gatsby, I've never watched that movie because I never finished the book in high school.
It's not bad.
The book was a snore fest.
Yeah, the book dragged things out.
Yeah.
And to be honest about The Great Gatsby, Baz Luhrmann, visually stunning, interesting music. Yep. DiCaprio's not firing at all his cylinders. It's okay, but it's not fantastic. Okay. Elvis here, it was all right. Like I said, I'm an Elvis buff because I think he's interesting character.
And the king of rock and roll.
Yep. He makes more money dead than alive.
Yeah.
The gentleman who played him was absolutely fantastic as Elvis.
Apparently the guy who played him just would not drop character.
Nope. Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker was an interesting choice, and I thought,
you kind of need to throw a big name into some of these things just to draw in, right?
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is one of the greatest actors of our time, debatably. He's a very good actor, and I think he chooses a lot of interesting roles. So people are drawn to him.
And I have no problem with that. I think the problem I have with Elvis, it was not an Elvis movie. It was the Colonel Tom Parker movie with Elvis.
Yep.
If they would have put the focus on Elvis, I would have basically rated a lot higher.
Yep.
Will I see it again? No. It was all right.
Will you buy the soundtrack?
Do
they still sell soundtracks?
Yeah. Well, Baz Luhrmann's been on TikTok. We're tearing that up. Very proudly crowing. He's releasing the deluxe soundtrack soon, so pick it up. Yep. Yeah.
There's always another version.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
This is going to get me shot, but I did not like this film.
You did not like this
No,
film?
I did
Oh my
like this
goodness.
film. Everybody crows like this is the second coming of Christ. It's not.
It was not, no, but it was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was an action-packed, weird ride that I really enjoyed. All right, Hemi, who do you wholeheartedly support?
Bird, I say walked out the minutes out of 45 minutes. I watched it at home with Cherie.
Yep.
And like I said, EEA was overrated. Yeah. Like I said, it was a good film.
Yep.
But I think it missed in a few cylinders. It's definitely not Best Picture material, in my opinion. But you know what? It is going to win Best Picture.
I really enjoyed it. I don't think it was overrated. I don't think that it is Best Picture worthy, though.
No, I think it's going to win, though.
Our next one alphabetically is The Fabelmans.
No.
I don't know if you can bet against Spielberg.
I'm betting against Spielberg.
Betting against Spielberg.
The Fabelmans was a typical coming of age story.
Yeah.
Like, I know they try to mask it wasn't Spielberg, like, okay, dude, we get
Spielberg.
it. But yeah. And you know what? It's a nice film.
Yeah.
Good performances in it. But it was just a film. Yeah, I agree with Hemi. Against EE, no way. Yeah. Like I said, Spielberg is a competent director. I've never seen a bad Spielberg film.
Yep.
He can take dirt, make it watchable. Unfortunately, I know
that and Everything Everywhere All at Once. They filmed rocks.
got rocks exactly,
and it was watchable.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's my thoughts on The Fabelmans.
Yep. Tar.
Now, this was an interesting film. Oh man, how do I put this? I respect the film. I'll put that much, right? I thought the story was decent. Cate Blanchett's performance is strong. Yeah.
And she always is.
I think this basically was a perfect vehicle for her.
Yep.
And I thought it was a great film. And yeah, I would put it basically in the Best Picture category from what we've seen this year.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think Michelle Yeoh's social media comment drew more attention to it. Yeah.
What was the comment?
Yeah, it was a comment there. I mean, we missed it basically. But Tar was good. And I think it deserved to be nominated, but I don't know if I put up there as a win. It wasn't like what was that drumming one? Whiplash? Yeah. That was an all around. Yeah, we're talking Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Part. No questions asked on that one.
Yep.
This one, I don't think it's quite there, but still a good. Oh yeah. Yes, that's right. She did say something like that too.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Well, does she really? I mean, too nicely balances out the shelves.
Hey man, like if I had $2 million, I'd want $3 million. I'll tell you that much right now.
I suppose.
Top Gun Maverick's on the list, which actually irks the heck out of me.
Top Gun Maverick. I haven't seen it.
I saw it.
I'm sure it's a fun movie. I'm sure it's a popcorn movie. I'm sure it's a pretty good movie. I don't know if it's Best Picture worthy or not. But I don't know. I don't think it's Best Picture. I think this could be somebody's attempt to show that the Oscars are embracing mainstream, big budget, blockbuster, summer tentpole, exciting movies.
Possibly.
Rather movies instead of films.
You've also got 10 categories, so you really got to kind of pat. I know there's a lot of movies, but still.
10 nominees, yeah.
Yeah. Then Hemi Cake says, seems more like a Leo moment, thanking him for being pre-show all this time. Exactly. I hear you 100% then, Hemi. Yeah. TG was phenomenal material. I went and saw it in the theater with my buddy. You know what it was like? It was like watching Top Gun. Yep. It was an 80s action film, updated slightly. Nothing wrong with it. A good popcorn film.
How much shirtless volleyball was there?
They were shirtless Bonneville in it.
Holy crap! They went all the way back to that, eh?
There was a bar singing scene too, Greg. There was Tom Cruise on a motorcycle riding. There was stunt planes. Greg, I'm serious. It was like pretty much Top Gun.
Yeah.
Just
Did
not
they
as
play
cool.
Danger Zone like 17 times?
I don't think so, but they wanted to.
Because I think that's the only song on the soundtrack for the original Top Gun.
Well, there's ones like Break My Heart Away or something like that. I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it's just throw me a bone here. Yeah. Triangle of Sadness, I have not
Triangle
seen.
of Sadness. I've not heard of this one. I did hear that one of the Academy voters said they did not watch this movie because they thought from the title that it would make them sad. So they skipped it.
I'm just scanning the plot quickly. Okay. Sounds like an artsy film with Woody Harrelson starring in it.
Oh, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's not a Cheers sequel.
No, it looks like a pretty seriously heavy, dramatic kind of thing there.
He was really good and really heavy in Three Billboards.
He was.
Yeah.
Harrelson's an underrated actor.
He is, yeah.
And he can really.
That was a good year for that was a tough year, for Best Supporting Actor, because both him and Rockwell are in the same movie, both nominated, and both really deserved it. Personally, I'm glad that Rockwell won it because he's one of my favorite actors.
If you've seen this film, let us know. If you haven't, well, you're with one of us. Last one is Women Talking. This is kind of weird. Based upon the real life events that occurred in Manitoba Colony, a remote and isolated Mennonite community in Bolivia. Ensemble cast include Rooney Mara, Claire Foy, Jessica Buckley. Sounds like it's got good pedigree.
Yeah.
Written and directed by Sarah Polley.
Okay. Yep.
Again, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it.
Yep.
Critic response 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8 out of 10. Small box. It does sound like very much like an art film.
Yeah. That's some of the problem with these Best Picture movies is that they're tricky to sell to the common audience. Everyone will or used to jump on them afterwards and try and rent them from the video store when they knew what the winners were, just so they could be included in the conversations around the water cooler,
right?
So that they could be part of the crowd that knew what was going on. And I think if you speak about an Oscar winner or whatever in your own mind or in your friends' minds, you seem a little smarter about your movies than normal, or than you might have been the day before.
Henry raises a really good point. What qualifies as the best picture for y'all? That is an excellent question.
I don't know what the Academy's qualifications are, what their baseline is. We know it's not box office.
No.
And it's not cast.
No, 100%.
No. I mean, obviously the studios submit these movies that they want to win or to be nominated to the Academy, and they tout them and hype them and sell them, for lack of a better term, to the Academy for the votes, or to be nominated. Sorry.
Yeah, well, basically, it's a popularity contest. They always send out these for your consideration packages. The more money a studio has to throw behind a film, we'll get an for Best Picture. Yeah. For myself, I'll tell you what. I don't know what's the Best Picture.
I say that a Best Picture for me. Now, you have to kind of make the distinction between Best Picture and Favorite Picture of the year.
Okay.
But rewatchability is a high qualification or a high factor for me. If I can watch that movie more than once and still enjoy it, or get something else from it, from repeated viewings, that goes a long way. I'm sure that you're not going to get too much extra out of Top Gun Maverick on the third or fourth viewing of it, but you're going to get more and more out of that third or fourth viewing of Everything Everywhere All at Once or Banshees. You're going to see little things that you didn't notice, and you're going to be able to pick up on little cues.
For me, I can start pretty good. Best picture to me is one that shows that it's a team effort. You know, you have multiple great performances in it. You have great cinematography, good pacing, and a story that doesn't take me out of it. Those are gonna be best picture.
Yep.
I know it sounds dumb. Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan to me is best picture. The pacing as well. The story is great. Performances are strong, and the effects don't overtake the story. That's what to me is.
That's because they had no budget for effects.
Yeah, they got to come back with another story altogether. I got a question for you, Switz.
As you'll know if you watched Old Man Theater episode 2, I believe it was.
Yeah, go check it out.
Our Star Trek episode.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. What film that came out in 2022 that you think you would have put into best picture? I've got two I would have put up there. One for sure, and one kind of maybe.
That came out in 2022.
The one for sure is going to surprise you.
That did not get nominated.
That I think should have been nominated, and you're going to laugh at me.
Nominated.
Yeah. My pick for a maybe would have been Glass Onion, Knives Out 2.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
It's on the fence because it looks good, the pacing is good. The ending and some of the story is kind of not as great as the first one, so that's why I'm hesitant. Yep. But one that would go on there for sure, Prey. That was the Predator one, set it back in basically the native times. I've watched that film twice now.
Okay.
And pacing is good, the story is good. Everything about that is great, and it's not like it's just not, to me, basically it's a film that should be best picture. Like the cast as well, and it's a very competent picture.
Yeah. What about Emancipation? Just so you could see Will Smith getting whipped.
That's what
Chris Rock said.
Chris Rock said. Yeah. But
I'm a little surprised that The Whale didn't get nominated.
I'm going to tell you something.
Okay.
I don't think it should have been nominated.
Okay.
Again, we're talking about best picture being kind of the team one. And as Bernier says here, love seeing you there, Michael. Glass Onion was a lot of fun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Whale is an okay book. It's a very depressing thing. As far as being a best picture, it relies upon Brandon Fraser's performance, period.
Right.
And someone else, right? So you haven't got the cinematography, you haven't got that pacing. It is a little slow too, and a little depressing kind of thing. So I don't think it has all the elements that would make me go for best picture, in just my opinion.
I've heard great things about Megan as well.
Oh, my kids went and saw it and didn't like it.
Oh, okay. I've heard really good things about it, and that it's pretty good. I'm not surprised it didn't get nominated.
No. But as a horror film, I thought it'd be a blockbuster, automatic win, because a creepy child robot that goes around murdering people, that should be automatic win. But the kids saw it and thought it was just dumb, which is not good when my kids see stuff like that.
Yeah.
However, they will have, I bet you I'm going to put mine down. They will have a Halloween Horror Night house based upon it. Being okay, not great, not a bad watch.
How did Nope not get nominated? Is that not
a Nope, I think it was 2021.
Okay.
But Jordan Peele, I think, is the new master of horror. Nope, it was 2022. And did not get nominated for Best Picture. And again, not a problem on that one, because I think it lacks to be the best picture.
Did it get any nominations?
I'm looking here.
I would think maybe in the screenplay department or whatever, right?
Special effects or something, basically.
No, not according to my list here.
Nothing, eh?
No.
It wasn't a bad film, but his Us and Get Out were much stronger films.
Yeah.
Along these lines, the Batman got snubbed too. Again, not a bad film, way too friggin' long. And every time I think of that Batman with Robert Patrick, whatever. Patterson. I think of him sitting in the corner, smoking closed cigarettes and writing slam poetry the way he looked in that film. That's my thoughts on the best picture stuff, man.
There we go.
Yep.
Want to do the top two, the best actor, the best actress?
Might as well.
Yeah, I got best actor. We got Austin Butler for Elvis. We got Colin Farrell for Banshees. We got Brendan Fraser for The Whale. Paul Mescal for After Sun, and Bill Nighy for Living. Oh, I love Bill Nighy.
This is a very tough category. Like,
yeah,
I've seen his performances. Like I've even caught some of Paul Mescal's. Crap. Like if I could, I give it to Austin Butler. He was Elvis, no question.
yeah.
Colin Farrell was good. Unfortunately,
I think it's going to go to Fraser.
Fraser's going to win. It's the Fraser Renaissance.
But has Bill Nighy won anything before, or is this going to be the hey, here's the you've done enough good work that we're going to give you 1 year for him?
No, not. This is the year of Fraser. He's got too much momentum.
Yeah.
Bill Nighy, I don't think he'll ever be an Oscar guy. We never can tell. But again,
no one would have thought that Olivia Colman was going to be an Oscar girl, though.
Tom Hanks after making Mr. Mom. Yeah, tell me that again.
That was Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Oh, Money Pit.
Dragnet?
There we go.
Turner
Money Pit. Dragnet. Yeah, Turner Hooch.
Money. Joe versus the Volcano.
Yeah. Again, I think, in my opinion, Colin Farrell should win the Oscar in this one, but Brendan Fraser will win the Oscar in this one, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Austin Butler, again,
it
great guy.
Sound like it would be he robbed it and stole it from Colin Farrell. I think it would be it was a very tight race.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That'll be quite a moment. Yeah, I don't watch the Oscars, so I want to have cable.
Yep.
But I'm gonna have to watch it to see Brendan Fraser's acceptance speech. This will be a moment. Again, Austin Butler, fantastic performance. Do not sleep on this guy. I think he'll go far in Hollywood.
Yep. Best actress, we got Cate Blanchett for Tar, Anna de Armas for Blonde. That was the Marilyn Monroe one.
Mm-hmm.
Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Williams, The Fablemans, Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeoh's gonna win it just because of the hype around it.
Yep.
I think Cate Blanchett though deserves it, in my opinion.
Okay. Yep.
Blonde was not a good film. That Marilyn Monroe movie was not a good film.
That's what I've heard.
It was not a good film.
No. But and I don't think that they even say they say she did a good performance, but not a good performance as Marilyn.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I agree, Heavy Cakes. Blonde's not worth mentioning.
But they do have more fun, I'm told.
But dump dots. But yeah, Michelle Yeoh is going to win it for Everything Everywhere All at Once. She was a very strong performance. She did help carry the film.
Yeah.
But I think Cate Blanchett had that much more stronger. I know she's got 2 Oscars, why she need 3. But I tell you, it was.
Yeah.
Yep. I think she doesn't riots. You're so funny. Anything else you want to cover off this there, buddy?
No, I think we're good. I mean, we could go into every category if we wanted to, but that'll be kind of boring.
No one cares about cinematography, costume design. Those are throwaway categories. Animated feature film.
Well, best director we can touch on quick.
Yes, let's touch on. I like directing.
Yep. I mean, there's really 4 categories.
I'm very disappointed what I see here.
Banshees, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Fablemans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Banshees was McDonald. Yep. I don't remember who directed Everything Everywhere All at Once.
This is Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schnert.
Okay. Yep. That's right. The Daniels. That's right. I remember hearing that.
Fablemans got Spielberg.
Fablemans was Spielberg. Tar, I don't know who directed.
Todd Field.
Who?
Yeah. Todd Field.
Don't know him. He never went to my high school.
And Trial of Sadness was Ruben Östlund.
Okay.
I'm ruling out Tar and Triangle of Sadness automatically. They're not even contenders. Don't think about them.
No.
Yeah.
Although, what a feather in the hat an Oscar win would be for those directors who I personally have never heard of.
Oh, heck, no kidding.
Yeah.
Like we talked at our last Old Man Theater. Go back and check it out. The director of Terrifier 1 and 2 is going to be at Comic-Con. His autograph will be cheap. If he takes off, you just got a deal on his autograph. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yep.
So Banshee of Inisherin, Everything.
If you're coming down to Banshees, Everything, or Fablemans.
I think the Fablemans are below the other 2. I think it's a good film, but it's Spielberg.
He's how many does he have for Best Director?
I have to look that up.
Quite a few. Did he get Best Director for Schindler's?
Oh, he had to get one for Schindler's. There's no question on that one.
It got Best Picture, but I don't know if he got Best Director or not.
I'll check it out. But I would have given him one for that. Well, yeah. But my hope is that the Banshees will win it. But I think it's going to go to everything else. I think it's going to be basically everything everywhere all at once is going to sweep, except for those one like it'll be like one stupid category they won't sweep in. They'll be like, oh, they almost got the whole thing, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. He won for Private Ryan. He won for Schindler's List, yes. And he won for. I guess he only won the 2 for Best Director.
Because we got 2?
Yep.
So that was Schindler's List and Private Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah, that would make sense. Those are ones I would give him for.
Yeah.
Like Jaws to me is another one that's almost a very well shot film, very well performed film. But okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think the Feldmans are strong enough to give him an Oscar win. Not against those other 2.
Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, he's been around Hollywood. I think they're gonna go. If I was going anything, I'm gonna say, like I said, I want Banshees to win, but everything everyone else is gonna take it.
Yeah. McDonald doesn't have one, I don't think.
No. And I want it because the Banshees is a beautifully shot film. And it, to me, it's basically, it's got there, like, and you know what's going to happen basically. If it doesn't win best director of or best director or best picture, it's going to win cinematography.
Yeah. If it's up for that.
That's not actually.
Okay, so
All Quiet
it'll be a dark horse long shot if it does win cinematography.
Yeah, Elvis, Bardo, and Empire Light and Tar are up for cinematography.
Probably means that what's her name is reading the nominations again.
Oh yeah, that Moonlight.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. I haven't thought about Oscars in a long time, actually.
Yeah, they're coming up on Sunday, so why not?
Do you think they'll recapture their audience? They've been losing audience steadily over the years, basically.
Who are the Rangers playing?
I think those Maple Laughs are playing.
I don't think they're playing today.
Nah, probably not.
They're playing the Habs. Yeah. Everyone can beat the Habs. Go Rangers. Nobody likes Montreal. Especially if you're a Toronto fan.
Pretty much, yeah. The only thing more insufferable than a Leaf fan is a Montreal fan.
Oh, geez. Oh, they're the worst. Oh, you have won since '67.
Oh my God. Go home, Habs.
Haven't won since '67.
You want to segue into hockey?
Sure, we can segue into hockey there. Yeah.
I've done some research for topics.
Oh. I have not.
I just saw some stuff that caught my eye.
Okay.
One of them basically caught my eye I saw today was, should Connor McDavid be subject to the Gretzky rule on hockey pools? So I had to go look it up.
Okay.
So the Gretzky rule in the hockey pool terminology is that it's a rule that when Gretzky's in a hockey pool, or was, he counted as 2 people. Gretzky's goals and Gretzky's assists. That way to even out the points. I was like, that was pretty funny. I guess the way to even out your pool to make it fair.
For the fun of it, I think no, you can't do that.
No, I think
if you want real challenge, yeah. But I would assume that, well, when you do a hockey pool, don't you do the snake draft?
You can do it multiple ways. Right? One, you can do a draft. So whoever gets Connor, basically. You could do it.
No, I mean the snake draft is like you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 people, and then you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the second round. Yeah.
But they pick individual players.
Back and up and down, right?
Yeah.
And that way, your guy whoever gets the first best pick, presumably McDavid or Matthews or whoever it's going to be, any given year, doesn't get to pick like the number 6 best player.
Yeah. What we would do in my family is we actually would make up, you pick 5 defensemen, whatever kind of thing, but we had a pools of 5 players. So everybody could pick McDavid in that pool, basically. What would come down to was those second, third line players, they would make or break your hockey pool.
Yep. Yep.
Another draft version I saw, which cracked me right up, was like a playoff version, was you could draft any player you wanted in a round, if you drafted them, you couldn't take them again. So the
Right.
year that the Panthers made the playoffs, everybody took Panthers in the
okay.
first round. Who won the playoff pool? Because everybody, no one had any players left in the last round. I had all my Panthers left. I cleaned up. They're coming to be in the third round saying, "Who's good on the Panthers?" You know. Another Gretzky rule variation I found out when I Googled this was prior to 85, if two players got penalties at the same time, like nowadays, it's called coincidentals. You both go off. There's no
Yeah.
men lost. Back then, you both went off. So you had played 4-4 hockey.
4-4. Yeah.
When this happened, Gretzky had more open ice and would score like a maniac.
Yeah.
So the Oilers would intentionally try and get coincidental penalties.
Yeah.
The NHL made a change in 85. Gretzky actually was very angry about it and was called the Gretzky rule ever since.
Yeah. They've got so many stupid rules right now. Like I'm still not a fan of the trapezoid behind the net.
Oh, the trapezoid is stupid behind the net. I hate that
Yeah.
idea.
You can only go in here. You can't go to the corner.
Yeah.
You only goes to the corner and get scored on. So
Yeah.
what?
I don't like that one
I
at
play
all.
by the goalie.
Yeah, what rules don't like? That one's kind of dumb. I like automatic icing. It does save some injuries.
Yeah.
Although
I've never seen, and I don't know if anyone just decides this or not. You got the automatic icing rule is whoever's first past the dot claims it, right?
Yeah.
What if somebody went to the other side of the net and skated past that dot like lightning? They're not closest to the puck, but would they?
I'd argue no.
Would they negate the icing?
No, because what the ref does when there's other icing calls, it's also close. He'll say, no, I had a chance to play the puck. He had no chance to play the puck, basically. That's how I'd argue it.
But it's going to bounce around the net.
I'd argue that once it passed that line.
Get it from this side instead of from that side.
No, it's dead.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Remember
my theory on how to beat out every icing.
Well, it's also like the theory basically just give goalie a huge pad. So they put the whole pad, the equipment size rule. Your goalie pad basically is
that was the Patty Roy rule, wasn't it?
It was the Patty Roy rule. Yeah. They could have pads over a certain friggin' size.
Well, pads and the jersey that he wore.
Oh my God.
Like 17 times.
Yeah.
Too big for him.
I guess there was any room for him to knock it past the net, basically.
Just so it would catch like the flaps.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, I'm a Florida Panther fan, so enough said about that. You're a Leaf fan. Hemi is a Rangers fan. Pem is a Blue Jackets fan, as he goes bottom for Bedard.
Pem must be off crying someplace, not watching the stream, because he heard that it was talky talk and knew that his team would have nothing to contribute.
He's having it's the bottom for Bedard. That's what they're going to do, man. They're going to try and bottom for Bedard.
Did they have Gogolev?
I can't remember. I think they did.
I think they did. I thought I read something this morning that he got traded or whatever at the deadline.
Yes.
Something negated the trade, and he had to end up going back to.
Yeah, I read that too.
It was Columbus, wasn't it?
Yeah, I read that too. I think.
Yeah.
Wish Pim was here. He'd set us straight, basically. Yeah, that whole draft, like I said, it used to be popular in the past to deal with hit rock bottom and get first draft pick. Now they do that lottery so that it's not automatic, but you know what? You're pretty much, you get more balls in the lottery if you hit the rock bottom.
Yeah. But Gary says no one's tanking.
Yeah, Tommy, I know when someone's taking there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I find a lot of the trades kind of complicated because that one that Ottawa did, like they gave away a few trades away for that player, but these trades become better if they make the playoffs. Like they're better picks.
Additional picks. Yeah.
I'm like,
if you make it this round, your pick is upgraded from our second round pick that we got from somebody else to our actual second round pick or whatever, one's higher or whatever sort of thing.
I find that insanely complicated. Like here's two guys in a puck bag. Give me somebody for that guy. It's something like that.
My favorite trades are for the player to be named later, and when they end up trading for John Smith for John Smith, or he ends up going back to the same team.
Mine too are for future considerations. That's the ultimate insult.
Yeah.
We'll trade you for future considerations, like, oh, and then usually that guy winds up getting demoted anyways. But like, how'd you feel? What are you getting from me? Future considerations, like, can you think of some of the worst drafts in history? I know one guy. I'm an Ottawa fan. There's no question.
It was Daigle.
Alexander Dag.
Yeah,
this guy was ranked number 1 in the draft. Everybody's hyped up on him. We had his face all over our arena. He's going to save our franchise. we drafted him. The guy was lazy as dog poop.
The franchise was very young at the time too,
and he just didn't want to play. That was had to be the worst pick in history. The scouts were wrong. He just didn't want to play.
That he didn't want to play, or he didn't want to play at that level.
He just didn't want to play. And his talent wasn't that great at that level. And even when he kind of got second chances in like LA, he all he wanted to do was go and party. So that to me basically is one of the worst drafts. Like I'll never not forget that. I'll always remember that because his face was everywhere. Is on like the posters, is on programs everywhere. And when you start playing, everybody's like, what else we got? Any players we can think of?
Well, I look back at the Edmonton Oilers and how they had so many first overall picks.
Oh God!
But they didn't pan out because until McDavid, obviously. But they drafted the same player every year. Like it was here's the high scoring forward or high scoring center or whatever, and they just kept picking that same player. They never would go for like the top defenseman.
No, they would not.
They never balanced out their team because we drafted a top scoring forward last year. Let's get now a top scoring or a fantastically defensive minded defenseman or something.
Yeah,
or even a top goalie.
Like
and Lord knows Edmonton could have used the top goalie a few times.
Yeah, here's something funny too. I looked on the top 10 worst drafts. I didn't recognize most of them. Dag was number 1. The one I did remember was a guy by the name of Rick DiPietro, 2000 New York Islanders.
Yep.
He chose the Islanders chose him after he was a standout for the U.S. team in the World Juniors. But basically, though, they traded Luongo to Florida on DiPietro's draft day to get him, and he went 3-15 that year. And that's when Luongo basically, took over Florida basically. So
yeah.
Apart from that, though, I can't think of any really drafts that really kind of tanked. Like Dag, I'll never forget. It was like like I said, that guy had so many chances. Not even Okay, so here's something else about Dag too. Quote: "I'm glad I'm drafted first because no one remembers number 2. In that year, number 2 was Hall of Famer Chris Pronger, followed by number 4, Paul Kariya, another Hall of Famer."
Yep.
Yeah.
What about the wonderful Eric Lindros draft?
Oh God. Eric Lindros had talent, no question asked, but he threw a fit because who drafted him?
Nordiques.
Oh yeah, and he didn't want to play for them.
He didn't want to play for Nordiques. He actually came out ahead of the draft and said, "If Quebec drafts me, I'm not playing for them."
And he didn't play for them.
He didn't play for them. When he got up there, he didn't put on the jersey. He held it in his hand at the podium.
So what happened was they worked out a trade involving the Flyers and the Rangers.
Yep.
So the Flyers had Nordiques receiving Steve Duchesne, Ron Hextall, Kerry Huffman, Mike Ricci. Oh my God. The rights to Peter Forsberg, the Flyers' first-round pick. Rangers had Nordiques receiving Tony Amonte, Kel Leff, John Van Beesbrook, Doug Waite. Yeah. And after it became probably the Flyers to begin playing, he was worried about playing the Nordiques in case, because he'd called them, quote, they had a lack of winning spirit. So he was actually terrified of playing them in case they were gonna smoke them.
Yeah.
Lindros' impact on the game, because like I said, I remember he was the next one, right? They called him.
Yep. He was injury prone though.
Concussion guy.
And then concussion prone. Yep. It was almost like he didn't know how to use his size safely for himself.
100% no.
Yeah. He wanted to be the big, strong, power forward, slamming the body around. And I guess he could get away with it in junior for the Oshawa Generals because he was the proverbial man playing against boys then.
He was monstrous, actually. That's why,
Yeah.
But
when he was playing NHL level players, it worked to a degree, but it hurt him back.
Yeah, I'm gonna say basically that he is up there among the greats of Gretzky, but I don't know if he'll be thought of as long as Gretzky and Lemieux and those guys, in my opinion.
No. No.
Like Crosby, I think was a much better player than he was basically. I don't know if Lindros ever won a cup.
No,
No,
I don't
okay.
think so.
Because after that, after he was done the Flyers, he wanted to go to the Leafs, so he sat out the entire 2001 season. Went to the Rangers for a bit. Then in 03-04, he had his 8th concussion. The Leafs picked him up, but he was done by that point basically.
And that just shows you how good we are at making trades. If a guy's on his 8th concussion, we'll pick him up.
Let me see. Signed to a 1 year, $1.5 million contract. Steady start, 22 points for 2 games. Tore his ligaments in the left wrist. 27 game absence. Turn was brief. Injured the wrist. He was out. And basically, they traded him again. Signed a contract with Dallas. Yeah. So at that point, he was done. Yeah. Like I said, I don't follow hockey as close as I do anymore. Like I'm a Florida Panther team, but I usually only watch them during the playoffs. See where they are, kind of thing.
I still try and watch as many Leafs games as I can, but occasionally they get blacked out, which is the stupidest thing in the world.
We got to talk about that. So for those who aren't familiar, we are probably familiar. A local market will black out the game in order to encourage people to show up at the game. That's what it used to be meant for.
They used to, yeah.
Now what happens now, Greg? Yeah, what happens now, buddy?
Well, now this game is not available in your region because me living in Niagara can't watch a game in Ottawa because I'm not in the Ottawa region. I can't watch a game in Edmonton because I'm not in Alberta. I can't watch a Vancouver game when it could be the only game that's on TV that night. They'll black it out in our market because Sportsnet or whoever's got the rights to that game has made a deal with the NHL or the league to only broadcast it in the local markets, which is ridiculous because back in the day, as we said, you used to have a local blackout so that if ticket sales were low, you would black the game out so that the local fans could not watch the game. The national market could still watch it. The rest of the country could still watch a game. I remember all the time Buffalo Bills games being blacked out
100%
on Sundays on Channel 2, WGRZ TV, NBC. They would be blacked out all the time. Local blackouts in effect. But once ticket sales drummed up, okay, we've sold enough tickets. Now the game can be shown to the local market. And that's why they used to black out a game, because they weren't selling enough tickets to the arena. So the local fans, they encouraged them to go buy a ticket.
And the Leafs always sell out, so that was never an issue. But like you said, now someone owns the rights to the Leafs broadcast. We're not going to show them on CBC. You have to go get a special package to see a Leaf game that you normally can see. Oh yeah, it would be completely frustrating.
Because they happen to be playing in the different market.
Well, I've had people buy the Bell package to watch the Sens. They were promised we can watch all the Sens games on the Bell package. Sorry, you got to buy another package to watch those games. Whatever.
Yeah.
In the States, I think they can buy like NHL or whatever they can buy, and they get everything. But there are packages, everything. They're dear.
NHL Center Ice or whatever it was called.
Yeah, they are dear. I actually had that with Rogers for 1 year when I got my new phone. They gave it to me for 6 months. I watched a lot of Florida games on that one. It was nice, but I think it was like $40 a month, which is like, no.
Cheaper than going to a game.
Yeah, no kidding. Like I said, Murray's coming up, and we're gonna catch a Sens game here at the end of March.
Okay.
Yeah, it's buy one get one free. Like
tell me the franchise is going to the next level when
the team's not doing bad. Like they got 68 points.
No, I mean they started to do a lot smarter after the owner died.
But they're still how many points though? They're still 6 points out of a playoff spot. Yeah. No one cares about the team anymore in Ottawa. And, they're overpriced and inconvenient to get to and all that.
I'm guessing average sales are probably in the low or the mid 10,000s.
Oh, easily. Like I said, they haven't had a winning product on the ice. It's a difficult arena to get to. It's like an hour. It's about an hour out of town. Easily drive. Parking's expensive. $20 for parking. $30 for parking. The food's through the roof. The food's through the roof. And when you go and see the team, you do not feel like you're getting entertained for the price ticket you're paying. That is huge.
If it doesn't feel like you're getting a professional NHL level product, then you're right to to be upset about what you're paying for your tickets, and you're right
Yeah.
not to go.
I'm very conscious about that. If I slap down $80 to see a team, I
Yeah.
don't want to. I'll feel pretty comfortable. If I was slapping down like I said, $180 to watch a really slow trap, really slow hockey game, I'd be
Yep.
ticked. I'd be absolutely unhappy about that.
Yep.
I might take a break here and go let my dogs out.
Who let the dogs out?
I gotta make sure they get out before bed. That's all.
Ah,
That's a lovely wife, basically.
yeah.
Do you want to keep talking hockey when I get back?
Yeah, we can do that, or we can switch to baseball if you want.
I got some baseball stuff, but we can do hockey for a bit longer.
We can do hockey for a bit
Wants,
longer. Yeah.
Play a quick game of Minesweeper. Or you're gonna keep talking hockey.
I can try and do a quick game of Minesweeper if we want.
I'll be back in like 7 minutes or less.
7 minutes. 7 minutes. That's about how long it takes me to play Minesweeper.
All right, I'll be back in a bit, everybody. Don't go away. Stay tuned for local state identification.
Okay. Oh wow. Well, we know there's one here. Whenever anyone plays Minesweeper, you do not just have that sudden urge that you want to just like randomly click. Ooh, because you want that big opening. It's gonna bite me, you know it is. Hey, that was not bad. Whew, this is some dangerous stuff here. And totally not how real minesweeping works. Oh, that was nice. It took me quite a while to actually find this game again, to find a good old style Windows version of Minesweeper, because, well, I don't think they include it with Windows anymore. This was a great time waster way back in the days of like Windows 95 and Windows 3.1 and all that stuff. I don't know why more retro arcades don't play this. At the same time, they can play the Buddy Holly video from Weezer, because that's a treasured Windows 95 reference or memory. Oh, I just want to click away. Oh, we're not doing too bad here, actually. Son of a gun. Well, that wasn't fun. Well, it was fun, but it also blew me up. So who's all out there, and what sort of hockey teams do we like, folks? I'm a Leafs fan. Partially, well, mostly because of my grandfather. I think that's probably how a lot of us kind of get started on our hockey fandoms, or our any sports fandoms, is from our family. If you come from a family of Leafs fans or Rangers fans or Red Wings fans or Blackhawk fans, you tend to stick with the family's team. My grandfather was a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Yep. Good old Harold Ballard. My grandfather was a big fan of the Leafs. But when my father was dating my mother, he found that out and decided, just to spite the old man, he would become a Habs fan. he wasn't really a Montreal fan. He just thought it made for an entertaining conversation around the dinner table when he would go over to visit and to watch a game or whatever on Saturday night with my grandfather. That he was going for the opposite team. Being a Leafs fan, I got kind of frustrated never having a team in the playoffs or not having a team in the playoffs for very long. I know we love to lose in that first round. So I decided a few years back that I would pick another team to have a secondary team to follow. And I can't remember what year it was, but I decided I would pick the Minnesota Wild as my alternate team. It was the year that they had Josh Harding in net, and he had just come back from an MS diagnosis and being off for quite a while with MS or getting his treatment for his MS. And the fact that they put him in net and ran with him and did a pretty decent little run for a round or two there, and they were exciting, fun games. You know what? That was the story that kind of hooked me in. So I decided, you know what? I'll be a Minnesota fan for a while. Not only were they a decent team, but I really liked their uniforms. They had, I thought, a really cool uniform there. Let me just try and find one here. One that I really enjoyed was, let me see. One that really reminded me of like a very, very retro look to it was this guy. I really enjoyed the look of this one. It kind of just, well, the colors and everything, but the just the look. It looked very, very vintage hockey to me, and I really enjoyed that uniform. But yeah, I liked the story that they had run with Josh Harding there. I thought that was a good team to follow. It was a kind of a feel good story, and they did decently that year. Also, it's kind of fun to chant "Let's Go Wild." Hey, look who's back.
Leaf fans and Ballard days. Of course, I remember. Surrounded by Leaf fans, basically. Mission accomplished. The only other thoughts I had about hockey was playoff teams.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, while you were gone, we didn't fare so well there.
It is what it is. He did pretty good, though.
I mean, 2.5 minutes. And then I screwed up over here.
I should have bought a vowel. No, the final thought on hockey I have is I always get in this argument about a regular season team versus a playoff team.
Yep.
A regular season team does well in the regular season. They play decently, get up to the rankings. They fall apart in the playoffs. You get these teams that basically just squeak in, and they're amazing because they have the playoff hockey mentality. To me, playoff hockey mentality is, high spirit, hard grinding diggers. Credit the Leafs. The Leafs have had more playoff teams than I can think of. The Sens is not a playoff team. They're a regular season team that will score decently, but when the pressure's on the playoffs, they just seem to just fall apart. That's my thoughts on playoff hockey.
The funny thing that they say about the Leafs in the second season and all that stuff, how we never make it past the first round, all that truth. They kind of mock our regular season success and how well they do in the regular season and how it doesn't translate to the playoffs. But I don't remember when the last time a President's Trophy winner won the cup.
That's an excellent point.
It's been a very long time, I believe.
Leafs 93 Bernier Ghost.
Yeah, 93.
Yeah. No, and that's my truth, because I know it sounds dumb, but I'll use a baseball analogy. My dad and I used to play fast pitch together, and our goal is never to finish first in the league. Our goal is to finish third or fourth. and that way we would play basically like the 5th or 6th place team. We go deep in the playoffs, and we were built for we were playoff ball players basically.
Yeah.
So we had one team that always try to get first every single year, and he'd always get it. He'd always be proud. He'd beat the 8th place team in the first round, and we'd smoke them.
Yep.
So, but yeah, like I said, that's I think the wild card is supposed to help these grinder teams, supposed to actually get them into the playoffs a bit more.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's having the desired effect, but because look at the wild card right now, I think it's looking at Islanders and Pittsburgh are the top two wild card teams right now.
Yep.
Followed by Florida and Ottawa, which are not playoff teams in my opinion by a long shot.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see. How many teams make the playoffs in
too many?
The hockey. So it's 6. The top 6 in each division. So that's the 6 there, and the top 2 wild card teams. So that's 8. That's 16 teams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because when we talk about baseball, I'm pretty sure they cracked open that playoff to even more baseball playoff teams now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was a big fan of baseball back when they just had like 4 divisions: American League, National League, East and West.
Yeah.
Instead of having a Central and all that stuff. Baseball is a very interesting sport to me because every game matters. There's 162 games, and every one of them matters to get you into the playoffs. You can't take a bit of time off and slack off and hope that someone else beats your rivals. You need to be playing every game. And by the first month or so, you can kind of tell which teams are out of it. It's very, very, very few and far between where a team will come back when they've been beaten up badly in the first month or so. A Baltimore Orioles who had like a 4-20 record or whatever in the first month. You knew their season was over.
Yeah, it's
very rare. They would have to go on such a monumental stretch and run that it was nigh impossible.
It's very rare you're gonna get like I said, a Cinderella run, right? So
yeah.
I'm just trying to see here. Top 2 teams in each league get buys. Wild card season, best of 5, best of 7. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Like,
I do like that they made the first rounds best of 5. That
yeah,
because I don't think we need a Mr. November when we had a Mr. October.
Oh, that's like NHL, right? And it's
playoffs stretching out so long.
Yeah, because it's feasibly possible to have the Stanley Cup final in July.
Yeah, yep. The worst thing I think for the NHL with their long playoff format is that suppose theoretically one of these Bettman favorite teams like Arizona makes it into the playoffs, makes a deep run or whatever, or San Jose, or even LA, and LA has done it obviously and done well, but a lot of or Dallas, say, a lot of these teams, it's poor hockey when they're playing because they're situated in areas that can't naturally produce.
Oh, well, yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like
that the game suffers.
Ice quality is huge.
Yeah.
And you can Google worst ice in NHL, and they'll come up because making ice is a science. You go to a degree for that. I forgot about the Fox puck.
Well, the fans might not be able to see where this black disc on a white background is going, so I think we should probably put a big halo around it.
And
when it shoots, let's put a streak.
Oh man, I was like, well, you can do that for how do they see a small white ball on a green surface as being thrown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about the Fox puck. I'm gonna bring that up. I haven't seen one on eBay in a long time. because they were going for like a couple $100 last time I saw them. Because
Yeah.
inside the puck is like multiple cents. It's crazy. Like, I've seen the inside of the puck. It looks crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. You want to switch gears to baseball? Kind of getting there, you know.
We're kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about playoffs, right? So I looked it up. 12 baseball teams make the playoffs. Top teams get a bye the next round. That's 12 out of 30 teams. Okay, it's not too bad. That's reasonable. Still makes for a very long playoff season, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I heard something hilarious today. Like you said, they're split into the National League and the American League. Someone says that if they had any more teams, just abandon the whole idea of National League and American League, have East and West divisions.
Or they're just going to realign it so it'll be like hockey. You'll have conferences or NFL. You'll have the
something like that.
AFC, NFC, whatever. It's the same thing, really, right? But since the National League doesn't have the now has the DH, right? So
now it does have the DH,
there's no difference between the two leagues.
That was the biggest thing. That's why, because the Cards were a National League team, so the pitcher always bat. That's why I love watching the Cards, because when that pitcher came to bat, there's always a chance he could hit, right?
Yeah.
Or the AL, you have the DH role, so guys that couldn't play but could hit always had a
career.
It's kind of weird too.
Out their career.
Yeah. Here's my rant about the Blue Jays, because I've gotten watching a lot with the last couple of years of my parents, my family.
We're gonna talk about Cecil Fielder, or
not even about Cecil Fielder.
Okay.
It's the fact that instead of having a designated DH, they started rotating their players every game. So one guy would play 3 games, 2 games off, 3 games on, 2 games off.
Yep.
And it was like the dumbest thing. I hated it, because a guy will be hot. Oh, by the way, it's not your day to play, and he'll be benched. And then some days, who's that? The big guy plays first. Guerrero. He'd play first, and then he'd be DH one day. So like, that's what that mean. I'll tell you what, though, the one team that didn't follow that stupid strategy went pretty far. That one team played like old school, like these are a starting 9. They'll start unless something changes or one guy goes south, whatever kind of thing, right?
Yep.
I hated that Jay's like, okay, Bo, you're playing 3 days, then you're off 2 days, 3 days. Like, I hate that stupid rotation.
Yeah.
Or Bo, you're at shortstop, now you're at second base. Oh man,
they seemed like they had too many players, and they didn't know what to do with them. So they would like cycle everybody so that everyone would get playing time in the field, so that they would stay fresh.
It was a strategy to make sure everybody got played, everybody was happy. That was.
Yeah.
The problem was, Bo Bichette's a good example. The guy, in my opinion, sucks on the stick consistently. I wouldn't trust him with that bat, but he is an amazing infielder at shortstop.
Not at second base.
That's the problem. When you move him to second, you knew he was going to have a horrible game, right?
Yeah.
So stuff. That's what I had the problem with. Like, I used to play ball. I'd play right field.
E6 for second base, or is it E4?
E4. I think it's E4. I think it's E4.
Yeah.
I used to play ball. I was a right fielder. Yeah. You couldn't put me in center field or left field, because that's different style of play, basically.
Yeah.
Stay with infield. Shortstop. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there are a few players that could swing it, but in this day and age, they're very specific. So I was like, nah. That's my rant about. Come on. Here's your starting 9. If the guys are hot, they play. If they're cold, they're riding the pine for a bit.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they can get some subs in, kind of thing.
What do you think of these new rules?
I've got some thoughts on that.
The pitch clock.
Pitch clock.
Yeah.
The pitch clock was put in place to speed up the game, which isn't a bad idea.
Yep.
However, I saw basically that one of the pitchers, Max, whatever his face was, right?
Scherzer,
figured out how to abuse the pitch clock.
Okay.
So here's the rule. The batter can call timeout once and at bat, and that's it. So you know how the guys call timeouts about the box?
Yep.
Once the batter steps in the box and looks at the pitcher, he can't call timeout. So what Max Scherzer was doing was he'd stand there and he'd wait till 1 second to throw the ball. That batter was kind of like twitching because he's stepping in like at 10 seconds, trying to hold that pose for 8 seconds. He'd call timeout. So once he'd call timeout to step out, he stepped back, he put 1 foot in. As soon as he stepped in, Max would throw the ball and catch him off because he wasn't set, basically.
Yeah.
And a memo came out this week from the MLB saying, we're changing the rule. Pitchers must give the batter a reasonable amount of time to get set after stepping back into the box. As in, come on, knock it off. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah. Hey, you made us the rule. We'll use it.
We called it quick pitching. I used to play against quick pitchers. It was horrible.
Yeah.
because you want to get in the box, you want to get set, and then okay, now you can throw the ball. You put your 2 feet in that box, that guy's winding up. You gotta get ready, right?
Now they've clocked some of these games, and I think that they're basically coming in about half an hour quicker or half an hour shorter than they used to.
Okay.
What happens with that half hour worth of airtime when a game is done and there's nothing scheduled? Because traditionally you have a game start at 1 o'clock, and they'd schedule it for 3 hours, so it'd be 1 to 4 on TV, right? Now, if the game's done by 3:30, what do you get in that last half hour?
You can rerun stuff. I think it's a problem.
More filler?
More filler. I think it's a problem
I mean,
because we'd have that problem before.
But that's the sort of boring stuff that we don't want to watch. That's the stuff that you've told us was boring, Major League Baseball.
Not their problem. Major League Baseball got their money anyways.
Well, yeah,
and fans are more fans. Like, I wouldn't go to a ball game because I wouldn't sit for 4 hours.
Yep.
3.5, I might do 3.5.
Yep.
Yeah. But smart sports-based stations with that extra half hour would fill it with some kind of ball content.
Yep.
Like they could probably extend the let's say they had a half hour analyst show. Yep. They could probably throw it out to an hour if they wanted to.
Yep.
I would really capitalize that extra half hour.
Though. Stick around and watch that.
No one's gonna stick around. No one sticks around. No one sticks around.
Yeah.
That half hour is always dead. I always consider it basically dead air anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for a long time, you had the freaking Golf Channel airing sports movies in the States, so enough said about that. Now, I'm kind of glad the games are shorter because watching that bat that took 20 minutes was like, fuck, I was like, oh my God. Like you said, fix the pad, step in, step out. You know, the pitch out, that's new rule, right?
Yep. No, I was going to say, if they want to make the game a little faster, make the players strip off their body armor as they're running towards first base. Instead of when they get to first base, having to call time so they can take off every glove and every piece of padding that they've got that they use to protect themselves at the plate, which I'm sure a lot of it is necessary and it does prevent injuries, but boy, it seems like overkill, a lot of it.
You give me a good idea too, and me and Shreer were thinking about this too last time. Was that that gear is to protect the players basically? So they got the guard and the thing, they got the elbow guard, the shin guard, the helmet guard, and all that kind of stuff.
The wrist guard, the hand guard, the thumb guard. Yep.
If there was more of a penalty for throwing at someone's head, I think there'd be less injuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, I know it's basically tradition. You throw at someone's head, you get a warning. Second time you're out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you even throw it accidentally and hit them, then basically you should just be ejected automatically. That would stop a lot of this nonsense, and I think might tone down. But you're right. All that gear they got to strip off takes forever, right?
Well, and then they got to put on the sliding mitt.
Yeah.
And put on the extra gear for base running. It's like that's what's taking up a lot of your time, I think.
Which I kind of just kind of grown like, really?
Yep. And also, if as a batter you have to readjust the Velcro on your batting gloves every time, invest in higher quality batting gloves with better Velcro.
Yeah. I completely agree with that 100% actually.
Or don't wear batting gloves.
No, that's true.
Pull a Rance Mullenix.
Yeah.
I wore batting gloves. We're very, very rarely wore batting gloves.
And again, then you have to wear the gloves to, get the endorsements kind of thing.
Yeah.
So other rule is the pitch out.
Pitch out. Yep. Yeah. Two pitches?
2 pitches. I think that's it. Well, 2 throws.
And 2 throws to first.
2 throws to first. Yeah.
Yep. And that's it.
I think if you throw a third time, you got to get him. And if you don't, that's a balk or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Which is, pretty stiff. I don't have much of a problem with that rule, but when you bring in the fact they brought in bigger bags, I have a problem with that rule,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the bags add about 2 more inches now. Well, I think it's which may not seem much to us, but a 2.5 inch jump off of first going to second, that's huge.
Here's the new rule for pickoffs. Or one version of a disengagement, which consists of anytime the pitcher makes a pickoff attempt, faces a pickoff, or simply steps off the rubber for any reason, as well as when the defense requests time. Pitchers are allowed 2 disengagements per plate appearance without penalty.
Oh, so that's it then. It's 2 and that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I didn't have much of an issue with that.
So yeah, they're limited to 2 disengagements, pickoff attempts, or step-offs per plate appearance.
Step off.
The
That's
is
harsh.
reset if a runner or runners advance.
That's harsh. That's harsh because there's some players you want to keep on the first base, right? So that's why they kind of do it.
I mean, basically, you just have to like fake stealing twice, and then you can just run on them. Or basically, I guess it becomes a balk, right?
You know, he's not throwing a third. You can't throw a third time.
Yeah.
And like I said, the base sizes now are 18 inches. That's 3 inches bigger. So technically, you've now got a 3-inch. That's a huge lead. Like, to reach back to grab.
Yeah.
That's why I think those two are kind of dumb rules to put together. I know to speed up the game to reduce pitch outs, but I wish they could have done a better way. In my opinion,
pitch outs are an important part of the game, though.
Yeah.
You want someone to steal second and cause something to change the outcome or win a game because the pitcher could not throw a third time to hold the guy on.
No, they're not.
Yeah. With all these rules, when do we get robot umpires?
Soon, I hope. Hey, there's two more. There's 2 more rules.
Okay.
One is a minor one. Position players pitching. Teams will be more limited in when they can pitch a position player. The previous rule allowed them to use one when it went up or down by 6 or more runs. That's why you had the outfielder come in and just pitch, right? To see the thing and all that. We're now discussing basically the leading team had to be up by as many as 10 runs or down by 8 before you bring in a non-pitcher to save your pitcher kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is dumb, because to me 6 runs is a mercy.
Yeah.
So that one I think is kind of thing. What do you think about the shift?
I kind of like that one. I mean, at one part of me says, why mess with it? Who cares? If a team wants to put all their guys on one side of the infield, then have your batters hit smarter and hit to the opposite side.
Yeah. So what happened was,
says, you know what? Having them play where they want to play, maybe it'll make for an easier out.
Yeah. So what happened was, in 2022, the league-wide batting average was down to 243, the lowest in 68. So they said we got to stop. We got to stop this basically. The rule is now that at the time the pitch is thrown, your infielders must all be on the dirt, not the grass or infield grass, with 2 on one side of second base and 2 on the other side of second base. Because what was happening was they're putting, all the infielders on one side of the infield to stop the ball, basically. So what they're doing now, I'm going to say this is dumb. They're bringing the outfielders over to cover up the gap instead.
Yeah.
Because the odds of a pull hit going deep is pretty slim. The odds of a pull hitter is not going to happen, kind of thing. I kind of see why that was like, okay, but it's the game, right? You can play wherever you want. Of course, when the rule was put into place, no one had these charts and flip things, so you knew exactly where the guy was going to hit. If he was an 85% spray player.
I kind of don't like the fact that outfielders or any player has a card telling them where to play for every player. Like they pull it out of their back pocket in the field and consult it, and it tells them, okay, I should go over here.
I should go stand here, and all that kind of thing.
I need to be here. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you stop that, because
I guess it's part of the game, right? I mean,
well, when I would play, the worst we would do, we would just shift, right?
Well, you'd have like one guy or whatever, like usually your shortstop, who was kind of like the captain of the infield.
Yeah.
Would kind of would let you know,
like if
this is where you need to go.
If we had a left-handed batter, the outfielders would move over more to the left. The left fielder would play deeper, and I would play shallow and right, kind of thing, and vice versa. Not we all 3 of us stand on the left side of the field, playing 1, 2, 3 kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know it's a way to try and juice up the runs, kind of thing, basically. So here's something they also try the minors first. It says during the first 2 months of 2022 minor league season, in the lower levels of the minors, where shifts are regulated, the batting average and balls in play by left-handed hitters rose by 8 points.
Yeah.
So it had the desired effect. At AAA, when the shifts aren't banned, it only rose by 3 points.
No.
Yeah, it'd be hard to find a hitter, especially a left-handed hitter, who's not on board with eliminating the shift. Growing up, we never had that, said outfielder Joey Gallo. It was just tough to adjust because,
The shift really only became as dramatic as it has, I think, in the last few years.
Yeah, like I said, that
Really?
card, like
Yeah.
now you're playing now there's actually basically detailed stats on every player on that field, hitting, pitching, running. They know when that guy comes with the bat, what pitches to throw because of the highest strikeout percentage, where he'll strike, where he'll bat, and all that.
Yep.
And you see all the technology in the dugout. All the pitchers are watching. So I know it's the way of the future, but it really doesn't feel like a sport anymore, right? So,
speaking of way of the future, I asked before, when are we going to get robot umps? Because when do we get to get rid of things like this?
Yeah, Angel Hernandez, the worst MLB player of all time.
It's sad and scary.
Oh, it's absolutely sad and scary.
And that's why I love this this Twitter site, this Twitter account, the ump scorecards.
Oh, 100%.
To check the game the next day and see how well they did. Like, wow.
I encourage people to go and look up Angel Hernandez for YouTube videos. There's nothing out there. This guy is one of the worst.
The funniest thing about Angel Hernandez is that I guess he was suing Major League Baseball for discrimination, saying that because he's Latino, he was passed over for promotions and did not get to ump World Series games and playoff games or meaningful games like that. And they're all like, "No, Angel, it's not because you're Hispanic or whatever. It's because you're just terrible at your job.
You're just a horrible umpire."
Yeah.
There's no way you want this guy anywhere near a major game because he's so inconsistent.
You don't want him in the national or international spotlight for a game like that because it makes your product look terrible.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing robot umpires, but I know the umpires will throw a fit saying you got to have some manual, blah blah blah, and all that.
I heard somebody was saying something about Oculus glasses for umpires. Some sort of digital glasses that would like show them the strike zone, and it would like light up the glasses red or green depending on ball or strike.
No, I don't
as
know.
An aid, and like, okay, that would help.
But everybody has a different strike zone technically, right? So
yeah, but if the software on the glasses would adjust it.
Yeah, but like I said, we have the technology. Like we know the computer draws a perfect strike zone box every single time. It knows down to the millimeter if that's a strike or not. So I know what you're saying. Like, who wouldn't want a digital strike zone?
I mean, the fact that you can now challenge plays and have replays for play at first or foul ball or whatever. Why not go the next step and have like your balls and strikes be called perfectly every time?
And the other thing too, they're watching the dugout. They do have the pitch cams of the dugout there.
Yeah,
they're watching it coming up. Could be because it could be because it could slow down the game. Could be because it could hurt the umpire's feelings.
Oh no!
Yeah, well, that's what it is basically, right?
Yeah.
Now, next year, I'm looking forward to taking Shree to our first Blue Jay game, first game ever.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been in years, so that's going to be a scream and a half for me.
Tell the Joe Carter story.
Oh my God. So I used to go with my brother, take him for his birthday, the Jays every year. Back when Joe Carter was playing, and of course we're out in left field because that's the cheap drunk seats, right? Joe Carter's playing out there, right? And the guy goes, "Hey Joe, I like your meal. It's smoking," because back then they had the smoking Joe Carter meal from McDonald's, and Joe turns around with a big smile on his face. He goes, "Hey!" Also, playing the Red Sox that same game, Mike Greenwald was playing right field. And the guy was like, always like, hey, they call the guys out, Grenwell, get a haircut, you bum. And the guy's bald, right? He turns around, looks at the guy, gives a dirty look. Oh my God, the guy just went going off on him. Grenwell, you bum. You suck. Like, oh my God. If he didn't turn around, the guy would say, like, turn around, and the guy just lost on him. Like, Grenwell, you bum. We were way out in the field. He'd be like calling out the blood boys, hey, you're a bum. Oh my God.
Love your sandwich.
Your meal's smoking. Oh, the Smoking Joe Carter meal. That was back in the days.
Smoking Joe Carter meal. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was like a quarter pounder or something. I'll have to look it up here quick. That was the days when the Cleveland was like the team, the most popular team, the Albert Bell and those guys.
Smoking Joe's McBacon Deluxe.
Well, the McBacon Deluxe. Okay.
Yep.
McBacon Deluxe. Oh my God.
McBacon Deluxe. Yeah.
Quarter pounder cheese and bacon, they think.
Yep.
That doesn't sound right.
The Arch Deluxe. The Arch Deluxe was a good hamburger.
Arch Deluxe was a good hamburger. I covered it with my
little. It had a different patty, a more seasoned patty. It had that bacon horseshoe in it.
Yep, they did.
It had mayonnaise, and I want to say it had like a peppery bun or something like that.
It was basically a good for McDonald's, but just call it a favor. Apparently, I looked into that.
Yeah,
I think too. Jason Alexander, you can see him in an early McDonald's commercial dancing, selling the Arch Deluxe.
McDLT.
The McDLT part of that was it. Yeah,
keeps the hot side hot and the cold side cold. Back when we had styrofoam galore,
and that's what happened. We got a styrofoam. They got rid of those things.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I remember that. That was one of the years when the Cleveland was hot. So we went to the Jays game. We're rolling up, right? And all we see is Clevelanders like, oh man, this is not going to be a good game. And I don't remember this like happening often, like not Toronto teams, but it was just full of Cleveland fans. And we're sitting out in the fields. We can't see the scoreboard at all, right? And all we hear is, yeah, this huge cheer go up. Look up. They're showing the lineup for the Cleveland team, right? Like, oh my God, everybody's cheering that. And all of a sudden, your lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays. Boo! It's like people start up booing. How can you play in your own barn and have your own fans boo you?
Yeah,
like in Ottawa, it's pretty obvious when you're playing hockey because Leafs and the Habs show up. The Leafs and the Habs fans outnumber the Leaf fans every single time. I mean, the Sens fans always there's time, but I don't remember a time going to see a ball game where the home team like that got absolutely just like it was a Cleveland team. Like, let's go, hey, boo, Jays, you suck. Oh my God!
What do we think of the name of the new Cleveland team, the Guardians?
I call them. Please forgive me, the Gadidians. I don't know what they're thinking. Like what those like of all the things you can think of, like the Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Cuyahoga River. What are we gonna do here? Guardians.
Why not go with the Cleveland Rocks?
I know, or like,
or actually, I think the Cleveland Spiders would have been good because they had a team 1,000 years ago or something like that called the Spiders.
Possible names. Oh, get this: Spiders, Guardians, Municipals, Rockers, Buckeyes, and Baseball Club. The Spiders came in first with a vote of 27.7, followed by Rockers and Guardians. But they decided to go with
Guardians.
How come
they're called the Guardians?
Because someone didn't like the name, the Spiders. Cleveland Spiders have been awesome. I would love it.
Some arachnophobiac.
I would love to. Imagine if the Cleveland Spiders, that would rock. Not like the Guardians or the Washington Nationals. I'm not sure what kind of team that name is. Yeah, 1887, they had it was called the Cleveland Spiders. They had one. From 89 to 99. 1 year they had it way back when. But yeah, the Guardians, like, yeah, okay.
Like, tell me this wouldn't have been a cool logo.
100%. I would love to see that logo.
That's a pretty cool logo. I mean, that would sell some shirts. That would sell some hats.
No kidding.
Yeah, that would sell some merch. And I think that Cleveland could probably use that.
Oh, absolutely, basically. Yeah, Cleveland Spiders. Like,
yeah.
Like I said, Seattle Krakens. I have no problem with the name Krakens. I like that.
Yep.
Works for me 100%.
Phil.
What's that?
Phil has no problem with it either.
McCracken.
He was a Scottish guy, though.
Phil McCracken.
Phil McCracken.
The Krakens, but the Washington Nationals, the Cleveland Guardians. Oh, no. Have you heard
baseball team? Wow. That's just as bad as the Washington football team.
Yes. Well, we did have 2 CFL teams named Rough Riders at one point.
Wow, that was cool though. Two teams with the same name, but one had a space.
Here's something I want to tell you about. Do you know the Savannah Bananas?
I've heard of them. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the minor league team.
Yeah, go check them out on YouTube because this guy was really into baseball and marketing, and he managed to buy like a Coastal Plain, like a minor league team basically, and turned into basically a fan friendly like what do you call it, thing. So they had the second average attendance in all of 160 college teams across the country. There's a waiting list for tickets. Your ticket price, which is fairly cheap, also includes free food and drink. And basically it's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters play. It's very fun, and you got to get on a waiting list for tickets apparently even to get a game here.
Yeah.
So they're considered basically, I guess, an entertainment team now, not even really they call them an exhibition baseball team basically now. They were in the league.
Like the Globetrotters.
Yeah. They were in the Coastal Plain League where they won 3 championships. But now basically they just horse around now. But they sell out. So stuff like there's a 2-hour time limit in the game. Whoever's winning at the end of time wins. There's no bunting. Can't step out of the box. You can steal first base. No mound visits. There's lots of stuff they put in place just to
spice it up and speed it up and have fun.
Foul balls caught by fans are counted as outs. Oh my god! I would go see that.
Bring it, everyone.
Yeah,
and I'm sure though you can probably get into some fights in the stands if you're trying to block a guy from making it out on your team.
Oh yeah, the team that scores the most runs in an inning gets 1 point, except in the 9th inning where the runs count. All runs count for 1 points. Yeah, so basically, it sounds like a lot of fun, basically. And speaking of exhibition teams, I don't know if you remember stuff like the King in His Court. This is something that my dad was really big into, and I saw them play a couple times. They were basically a group of like fast pitch players. I don't have players called Eddie Finger, basically, and he would bring around like 5 guys, and play a whole baseball team. And they called the King of This Court. It was like basically watching Harlem Globetrotter stuff, basically.
Yeah.
But it was good because he'd throw all these junk pitches and stuff, and he'd have this one hot guy who would throw like 1,000,000 miles an hour and stuff. My dad played him a couple of times. It was just absolutely awesome to watch. It was weird, but it was awesome to watch, basically.
I remember we used to have the single A farm team for the Toronto Blue Jays here in St. Catharines. It was the lowest professional league or whatever, I think, or second lowest or something like that. The St. Catharines, they were called the Baby Jays, then they called the St. Catharines Stompers.
The Purple Stompers, I remember something like that. Yeah.
Stompers was later on, and I think that might have been their name after Ernie Witt bought part of the team or something like that.
Okay.
But I remember going to a couple of Baby Jays games or St. Catharines Blue Jays games, and this was back in university times there. I remember we went, and I don't know if you were here with us or not, or if it was
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but we were watching a game, and this guy was just blowing away the hitters. He was pitching. He had movement on his curveball. It was dancing. It was singing. He was like striking everybody out. It was incredible stuff to watch. Like, holy cow, this guy's going to go far. He's got a future. This guy's Paul Quantrill down on a rehab assignment from an injury.
That's what I really miss about the minor. We used to have the
Ottawa
Jays.
Lynx.
Yeah, they used to be the Jays minor league team, and then
no, they were the Expos, weren't they?
Expos, and then we did have like a Rochester, a Baltimore. We used to have Baltimore's. Then, anyways, we lost it eventually. But when we saw that, though, we got to see all these guys in rehab. That was fun. I saw Tim Raines. I saw Roger Clemens pitch.
Yep,
that guy. Yeah, he was throwing bullets easily on his rehab stuff. So yeah, that's what I miss about minor league ball is seeing those
Well, you'd see both ends, or you'd see the guys on their way up, and the fans in Buffalo the last few years there got to really experience some great baseball. Seeing Bo and Biggio and Vladdy on their way up,
Yes.
but then you also see the guys on their way down too, right? Your Crashes, I can't remember the Kevin Costner's name in Bull Durham.
Oh, yes. I can't remember
those
either,
guys,
though.
right? Yeah, you'd see the guys on their way down as well. But you'd also get to really enjoy seeing the guys on the rehab assignment, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, 100%.
And probably was a blast for the young players on the team to hear the stories and to see the way that these guys would prepare for a game.
Yeah, and that's what, like I said, I miss that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think of anything else really baseball worthy? Like I said, baseball's a long season. Was it 162 games?
162.
God, yeah.
Yep.
And you're never really, well, you kind of know when you're out of it, but
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Is baseball too long of a season?
Probably. Could they trim it down to 100? Well, they won't because of all the revenue.
Exactly. Money drives everything.
But if they trim it down to 100 and 130 games, take a month off the season, get your playoffs done and everything by October, before hockey season and stuff starts, or before basketball starts, it'd probably be a good thing.
I think so.
I mean, what you have to remember with all these games and all these teams and all these sports, and this even goes back to my days of running the video store. When the Leafs were in the playoffs and stuff like that, we did not rent a single movie because you're competing for people's free time, and people will give their their free time is only in one spot. You can't move your free time or split your free time or share your free time. Your free time is now I'm watching the baseball game. So I'm not watching the football game. I'm not watching the hockey game. I'm not watching a movie. My free time for this 3-hour slot is baseball or hockey or basketball or whatever. And so those other sports, if they're playing at the same times, are losing out. You're splitting your audience because you can probably generalize that sports fans are sports fans. And if you're a fan of one sport, if that sport ends, you will then watch another sport. So when baseball season ends, you'll pick up and watch whatever sports season starts. So be it hockey or basketball or football or whatever, you will go into another sport. If you have those sports competing at the same time, you're going to lose.
Yep.
The one sport will lose out.
Well, without question. And you said it too, like when they go too long, like baseball playoffs go what, October-ish, November-ish now, maybe?
Into November now.
Yeah. That's hockey season.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hockey starts in September.
Yeah. And July, that's baseball season. Then you also got football season mixed in there as well. So like I said, a longer season means more revenue, but does not necessarily translate to more eyes on the
last year, the final game of the World Series was November 5th.
Get out. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Guy Fawkes Day. So Guy Fawkes even lost out because of the baseball playoffs. Who's setting off fireworks and gunpowder plots when you've got the Houston Astros playing?
Exactly. The dirty cheaters. I didn't realize that.
Yep. That says to me that's a bit too long.
I think so.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think it's too long.
Yeah. It does kind of lend or show how dedicated baseball fans are, though, to watch all the way through that and to watch every game and to go to every game or
even to hold season tickets, right?
For so long.
Even to hold season tickets.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that. Even if I got a half season of baseball tickets, that's probably about 81 games, whatever, right?
Well, that's still be 40 odd games or whatever for a half season because 80 home, 80 away or whatever it is, right?
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. So let's say it's 40 then, yeah. That's
Yeah.
still a lot of ball to go, even if you're going twice a week.
Yeah. That's a lot of gas. That's a lot of parking. That's a lot of expensive food.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cholesterol on those ballpark hot dogs.
And that's why I kind of missed the links actually.
That's why
Because
I
that
kinda
was like
miss those ballpark hot dogs.
this was $15-16 to go see
Yeah.
the links for the best
Yep.
ticket.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, dogs were like $4 or $5. Drink was $4 or $5.
Mhm.
Under $50 for me to go see a game, and I see a good game. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
easily.
It's
Ah,
coming up on the 11 o'clock hour here.
yeah, I think I got nothing else to really think of, my friend.
I think we've chatted all we can chat tonight.
It was a good
Thanks
chat,
everyone for sticking with us. Thanks for everyone for watching. If you're out
Absolutely.
there, thank you very much for stopping by.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, might be a while before we do Old Man Theater again. Good night, Mike. We got to go for lunch again time, everybody.
Hey, Mike, before you go, who's your favorite Leaf? All time and current.
Who's your favorite Leaf, buddy? Before you go, you gotta throw that down.
Yep.
Next week I'm down home, so no stream then. The following week I'm back, which is the 23rd. That's hockey night in Canada for me and Buzzy. We might have to put it out to like the 30th. Might be almost 3 weeks, unless we change nights, whatever.
Well, we could change
you.
nights. That'd be okay. Yeah.
Do it on a Tuesday, actually. Maybe
Yeah, we could do a Tuesday.
21 or 21 or 28. 20 or 28. Think about it.
Tuesday.
Taco, yeah. Nick V wants to get in on the action too. We should invite him next time.
Bring him in.
We will definitely.
Dougie Gilmore. Gotta love Dougie. Gotta love Killer. Yep. I'm gonna say my favorite all time and more for hoops and giggles. Ken Baumgartner.
I met Ken Baumgartner.
I love the bomber.
I like Matt Sundin. He's my favorite.
Yep.
Yeah. Baumgartner, I got an autograph from the Penn Center for Buzzy.
Yep.
The guy was monstrous. He was huge. The pen vanished in his hand.
Yep.
And he was like scarred up like a gladiator.
You said he was bloodied and like bruised and swollen.
His knuckles were tore up. He had like scratches everywhere. Like, oh yeah, he looked.
And you could understand why this guy said, "Yeah, I ride the TTC home after the game."
Oh yeah.
No one's going to mess with the bomber.
Yeah. I've met guys like Yash and all that, and they were tall and they were muscular. Oh, sorry. You guys are switch. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This guy's hand was like, oh my God, he was monstrous.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I hear like he's one of those gentle giants, like super nice guy and everything. And,
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, dude.
Yep.
Time for us to shuffle off.
Current Leafs, I'm really enjoying Nylander.
I don't follow current Leafs. I don't even know who the current Panthers are. Nylander's always good, though.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
All right.
Until next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Much appreciate it.
Keep your stick on the ice and have fun. Be safe. Be fun. And we'll see you when we see you.
Yeah, like I said, check us out on Twitter at GutshotC. Switz, the G Switzer. We'll let you know when the next Old Man Theater is coming. If you have an idea for us to rap or rant about, let us know, and we'll get on that.
You know, our discussions have become less ranty and more just discussion and ramble. Which is still pretty fun.
It is pretty fun. Anyways, you got ideas? We want to hear them. But
yeah,
good night, everybody.
Hit us up on Twitter or on Twitch or wherever you can find us and leave some comments.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, dudes.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Awesome. Bye.